Robert, tell us about the Seabury Group and what products you have to offer and where the company's going. I know you guys have been around for a while.
Sure. So Seabury Capital is the parent company, and they're actually an investment bank and consulting firm.
U.S. based.
U.S. based.
Okay. You're out of the West Coast, is that correct?
No, they're New York headquarters. They have offices around the world, I believe 17 countries at the moment. So they founded Seabury Global Markets a few years ago, and Rob Fleshler is CEO there. He is the captain of the parent level, we'll call it, and Seabury Global Markets is a investor in early startup fintech companies. One of them is where I spend most of my time, and that's Seabury FXONE, and that's the agnostic smart order router. It can sit on any person's or any client's liquidity. And
okay, so is that sort of similar to, say, Integral or one of these, the aggregation?
Similar. We do aggregation, we can do point-to-point, we can slice and dice the liquidity to the client's needs. Where our strong point is that we have a desktop-based trading GUI and a built-in spreadsheet. So the combination allows users to use native Excel formulas to do signal-based automated trading.
Okay. Cool.
Currently, we support spot FX, CFDs, precious metals, and we're launching cryptocurrency trading.
Okay, and how many active clients do you have currently on the platform, more or less?
Sure. At the moment, we're at 15 clients. The company was founded in 2013. Seabury Global Markets invested in the firm. At this point, Seabury FXONE is a 100% wholly owned subsidiary of Seabury Global Markets. In addition, there's two sister companies in the portfolio. There's SpotX, and they are a NY4-based ECN for spot FX and precious metals. So that's more of the matching engine story.
And are they also fully owned subsidiaries of Seabury?
They are not. Seabury is a minority shareholder within the firm.
Okay.
And SpotX, their strength is the middleware and back office. So their strengths are that you can run a brokerage using their turnkey solution. So literally, you create an account at SpotX, you can get your liquidity from them, or we have what's newly launched called SpotX Hub, and pretty much a matching engine for hire. You can use their technology, pump your own LPs into it, and distribute to your clients downstream with white label.
And is that like a dollar per million based pricing, or is there a minimum price? Or?
Yeah, there's dollars per million. With the SpotX Hub product I talked about, there's a minimum of $5,000 monthly. But if they're just a regular SpotX client and not utilizing their own hub, it's they would agree to terms to dollars per million rate. At the moment, we also have the third company, which is called Noble Bank International.
What? Noble?
Noble Bank International.
Noble Bank, okay.
So they're an alternative to prime brokerage a model. What happens is it's a fully reserved credit sharing peer-to-peer based trading. So your liquidity providers and your consumers establish accounts within Noble Bank. They do peer-to-peer trading, and it's net P&L based settlement, so it's T+0 rather than T+2.
Right. Okay. And could you sort of go into give an example of that process,
Sure.
As opposed to your normal prime broker model?
Sure. At the moment, if a customer would choose a prime broker, let's say Citi, they'd have to establish collateral and put money in and agree to terms.
Right.
On the lower end tier would be the prime of primes, a smaller entrance fee to get into that model, and the fees will be excessive because of CLS, Triana, all the different hops that you have to get through for clearing.
So this goes straight past all of those and
straight
provides
past all of it. It's a self-contained,
peer-to-peer payment, right?
Yeah, self-contained ecosystem.
And how do you facilitate the credit when somebody does a transaction with you? How do you know that they're good for it through the peer-to-peer system? That's a kind of critical question.
Sure.
Right?
So at the moment, they have a amount. Consider it similar to margin trading. They'll put a deposit in, and then the bank will factor an appropriate ratio of what they're allowed per currency to trade. Beyond that, they'll do trading. When a trade gets booked and there is not enough funds to execute, there'll be a timeout period and the client has enough time to credit. If not, what happens is the seller will be made whole and the buyer will dig into a reserve fund, and that's, consider it on a simplistic level, overdraft checking, something like that.
Right.
So
okay.
there'll be a premium monthly fee to pay for that protection level, and there's a guarantee fund. So at the moment, the fund is
So you have like a guaranteed central fund for
correct. At the
possible
moment,
transgressions.
yes. At the moment, Seabury is one of the guarantors for that fund. They're actively doing rounds of funding for that fund. So there'll be the target is 100 million by Q1.
Okay. And what's currently in the kitty?
That I'm not sure. I have to refer to the Noble representatives.
Okay.
At the moment.
So there's a whole range of different products there under the broad Seabury banner.
That's exactly right. So Seabury Global Markets, the vision is to build the full end-to-end solution. So when you reach a client, you can offer them a la carte, specific services, or we can piece each one of these companies together in one giant ecosystem for end-to-end trading.
And are you interested in facilitating to startups or only kind of basically regulated existing entities of a certain size?
At the moment, it's more fintech startup, early startup phase. They're looking for incubator companies, things that may fit into our ecosystem. Maybe there's another piece of the puzzle that we can add, and we would extend our offering.
Okay, so for your product, the Seabury One FXONE
yes.
product, how many correspondent banks / LPs, whatever, do you have plugged into your?
Sure. So, to answer your question, we're a smart order router, so we don't actually have a pool of liquidity. The clients bring their relationships, but we have certified to over 60 different liquidity providers.
Right, all the main players.
All the main players,
right.
Banks, non-bank market makers.
And are you co-located in like NY4, LD4, TY3? And
we actually use hosted infrastructure, so we're both partnered with Beeks Financial Cloud and Lucera. So wherever the liquidity resides, we will literally turn around, install a server adjacent to that partner, cross-connect in, and that's where we will install our software, the OMS.
Okay, so you rent a virtual instance somewhere, and
we rent dedicated machines. We'll give a full-on trading machine dedicated to that instance, and we're a Linux-based container service on top of that. So we'll go to a partner for the hardware, we'll install the software. From there, there's a desktop application that the user can use to utilize our toolbooks and create their own algos, and from there, any execution strategy they can envision.
Brilliant. And how much does it cost to get going if I want to try it out, for example?
So we offer a free trial like mock trading and UAT at the moment if they're interested. Normally we're on a dollars per million basis. We do have a trial phase where if they're not really sure and they want to test the waters, we can do $5,000 a month for a 3-month trial, all you can eat, and then we just revisit the terms and negotiate wherever we see the volume would see fit.
Okay, well, thank you very much. What would be the best phone number / website to contact you on?
Sure. Everything would be SeaburyGlobalMarkets.com. You'll see the parent company there and each of our individual business units listed. And there's a global sales email. It's info@SeaburyGlobalMarkets.com.
And finally, what do you think of the show here in London?
I think it's amazing. I cannot believe the size change. I've seen it double in just 1 year. So very impressive this year. I really like the venue and I've seen a massive turnout.
Cool. Well, thanks very much.
Thank you.